Kanye recently did an interview with Akademiks that took over the internet, mostly due to his, let's just say, ridiculous outfit and jewelry piece, but also due to some of the wild clips that we got from the interview.
It feels like you still have a little bit of animosity there.
I'm evil.
Right now, Kanye is dynamite with an open and unedited mic. And I don't mean dynamite because it's so fire, it's so good. I mean dynamite as in, yes, it's explosive, but it's also extremely destructive. Despite being over 20 years into being one of the most legendary rap artists of all time, Kanye West still runs on attention. More so than anything else in this world, Kanye wants attention, and as of recently, it's been a bit harder for him to get attention than it normally is. And that's why we see some of the wild tweets that we've seen recently, or him seemingly randomly dissing Kendrick Lamar, but just what Kanye was doing on his own wasn't quite enough in getting the attention that he desires, and that's why he needs Akademiks. What's good, YouTube? It's Justice I Used to Be Paid, and today I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Kanye and Akademiks both exploiting each other. But before I get into that, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things. It helps me out a ton. Kanye is still a huge star, but it's very clear that nowadays people are just beyond Kanye. Like, you can only tweet out outrageous things so many times before people just start to stop caring. And yes, he's still able to create a bunch of outrage whenever he tweets, but at this point, it's pretty much just condensed into Twitter and doesn't really leave the Twitter space in terms of like outrage. It's not mainstream news anymore. It's not something that everyone's just dying to talk about. It's really just like a social media talking point for a few days, and then it kind of goes away. His album Vultures 2 sold 100K first week, which, you know, is good to great numbers, but for Kanye standards and what he's done throughout his career, that is incredibly low. He went on Twitter and went crazy on Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Kendrick with the hopes of getting attention on Bully, his next album release, but for the most part, nobody really cared. Like, it came out, people checked in on it, but it wasn't like a huge topic. It wasn't something that everyone in hip-hop media was talking about for weeks on end. It just kind of came and went. Bully was posted on YouTube for a short period of time, then it was deleted, and now people have reposted the entire album. It's like one big video. They reposted the entire album, and that video doesn't even have 1 million views in 2 weeks. For comparison, Lucky's music video that was posted around the same time has 1.6 million views. Now, obviously, there's context to this, but still, the numbers of Lucky and Kanye being similar is crazy, especially when it's a new album. Even Kanye's tweets don't get crazy engagement like that, and that's the platform that he's like known for being on at the moment. His posts do like 50 to 60K likes, which, you know, is a lot, but it's nothing crazy. Kai, Aiden Ross, and I Show Speed all do more numbers on their tweets than him, and they don't try to rage bait the entire world. And now, obviously, Kanye posts more than them, but still, to see their numbers be way bigger than Kanye's is kind of crazy. Right now, Kanye feels starved of the attention that he craves, especially when you look and see the attention that Kendrick Lamar has been getting. Kendrick Lamar has been getting so much love and attention over the last year or so that Kanye even said it himself, feels jealous. So he's looking around trying to figure out how he's going to get some attention, and here enters Akademiks. Akademiks is the biggest independent media source in hip-hop, and maybe even just the biggest media source in hip-hop in general. And what works so well for Kanye about Akademiks is that there's no restrictions on what Akademiks can do. There's no major corporations backing him. There's no major company that's saying, Ak, you can't do this content. It's all up to Akademiks. And we all know what Kanye's going to say when you put a live mic in front of him. We all know the type of ideologies and things he's going to try and push and spew when you put a microphone in front of him, including Akademiks.
I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media it went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
And so Akademiks being willing to do the interview with Kanye at all means that he knows that too, and he's perfectly fine with it. And so for Kanye, this is great. Kanye also knows that Akademiks is a softball interview. Akademiks isn't going to push back too much on what Kanye's saying or challenge Kanye in what he's saying. He's just kind of going to let Kanye ramble and just get his stuff off. Now, that's not for me to say that Akademiks never pushes back on anybody whatsoever, but he's not going to do that with Kanye West. He might do that with, you know, Lil Baby or Meek Mill if he's having a conversation with them.
Meek, I will say this to you, your face, on your deathbed. I killed your career, what was left of it.
But he's not going to push back on Kanye West because we all know, again, Kanye doesn't like to have his ideas challenged, and he doesn't like to be forced to fully elaborate on the things that he's saying. Otherwise, he will just leave.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who was they, though?
We can't say who they is, can we?
Press.
I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking
It is
about
them, though, isn't it? I mean, because because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not? What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving? Are you afraid of the press?
And Ak obviously wants the content, otherwise he wouldn't be doing it, so he's just going to kind of let Kanye get his stuff off. Any other independent media source, and I specify independent because mainstream media is definitely not working with Kanye at this point, but any other independent source isn't just going to sit there and let him get his stuff off for an entire interview. Joe Budden and them aren't just going to sit there and let Kanye ramble and say all he wants to say without pushing back for an entire hour. And honestly, he would probably end up quitting the interview in the first, 4 or 5 questions. Vlad definitely isn't just going to sit there and let Kanye get his stuff off. Even No Jumper probably wouldn't just sit there and let Kanye get his stuff off. I'm not even saying that Akademiks needs to push back on all the 1930s German ideology stuff because that might be out of his league, even though he definitely should. But at least make him explain the things that he's saying. Make him explain all these wild claims that he's making. Make him elaborate. Who is doing this stuff to you? Explain how you know Kendrick is a plant from Lucian. How do you know Kim is trafficking your children? Or where is that coming from? Where are you getting this from? How do you know it's Jewish people controlling these artists and making them turn their backs on you? He should be able to explain and break down all these wild claims that he's making. But Akademiks is just kind of sitting there and letting him make these claims without any evidence. We all know that Ye is not in his right state of mind. There's even rumors with a decent amount of proof that he might be abusing nitrous. And nitrous is a drug that literally targets and kills your brain cells. Literally kills your brain cells. But what I want to be made clear is that his mental disorders or possible mental illness is not a justification for him being a Mustache Man follower. There are millions and billions of people all around the world who are neurodivergent, have mental disorders, autism, bipolar, all of that stuff, and they're not Mustache Man followers. But what I want to be made clear is that we all kind of see this man not being in his right frame of mind, which makes me question Akademiks because he's just up there farming content off of it. He's just letting him crash out on his platform and just there to farm the views off of it. This raises some question about Ak because I remember about a year ago when FouseyTube was having one of his many mental breakdowns on live streams on Kick, and guys like Sneeko and Aiden were getting content off of him. Akademiks called them out for farming content off someone who is clearly not okay, rather than actually getting him help.
When you guys showed up and just put cameras in his face, knowing that he was acting batshit crazy, and that, whether you knew him for a long time and shit, I don't know him, but even as a viewer, I could tell that he wasn't mentally well. You guys were doing that because it was easy, available, free content that was turning your streams up. You didn't have to do much. I was taking advantage of him? Of course! What do you mean? Bro, how? You know what, his behavior was not good for his health, but it was great for content. If I see you doing some negative shit, right? And, I understand everybody's doing content. But at a certain point, the only way might be me telling you, bro, I'm not doing content with you. Until, none of y'all ask him, bro, are you off your meds?
None of y'all ask him, bro, are you off your meds? None of y'all ask him, bro, are you off your meds?
He said that Aiden and Sneeko were enabling Fousey's mental issues by sticking a camera in his face while he's having a breakdown. But with Kanye, it's cool. The only real difference between Kanye and Fousey is Ye's a billionaire, and he might not be as big of a danger to himself as Fousey was. I've seen so many people who allegedly believe in God sit in front of Kanye's face while he calls himself God and just say nothing, just let him be delusional. Ak is giving Ye his huge platform to basically advertise and promote his crash out to the rest of the world, probably resulting in him losing custody of his kids because of the things that he's saying. He's just clearly not in the right frame of mind and possibly even abusing nitrous behind the scenes. Now, Akademiks isn't responsible for any of that in terms of Ye doing those things because Ye's a grown man and he makes those decisions, but him being the one platforming it does raise a lot of questions. And you can take pretty much all of those clips that Akademiks had when he was speaking about Fousey being exploited by Sneeko and Aiden and just replace the word Fousey with Kanye or Ye, and it fits perfectly. It's not Akademiks' job to be a mental health consultant to Ye, but it's just so crazy how a year ago he was frying people for making content off somebody with mental health issues or struggling through their mental health issues, and now he's doing the same thing. If I had to be honest though, Ye is the biggest person that Akademiks has ever had on his content. Like, that's the peak of the peak. Kanye is the top of the top, and Kanye is also somebody that Akademiks is a huge fan of. And this is groundbreaking for Akademiks and his content to have somebody like Kanye on it. So from that perspective, I kind of get it. And Kanye is also somebody who Akademiks clearly doesn't want to step on his toes, because any little thing you do to step on his toes or slightly offend Kanye, it's F you, and he's going crazy on you on Twitter, posting about you for 2 weeks straight. But if Akademiks took away the name Kanye West from the situation and it was just some random generic rapper, I don't know, like Boston Richie, he'd be like, oh, I'm not going to talk to that guy. Clearly, he's not in his right frame of mind. Clearly, this probably isn't the right thing to do to broadcast him to the world while he's out of pocket. Like, even his own wife tried to have him committed to a hospital. He admitted it in a recent song, Kanye did. And I'm not talking about Kim. I'm talking about Bianca, his new wife. So it's just clear that the guy's not okay. The interview and stream that Akademiks did with him is something that we never expected from Akademiks and Ye. We always thought it would be Ak and Drake doing these type of things and having this great content relationship. But what we're watching here is two guys use each other in different ways. Ye just wants the attention, and he doesn't really care how he gets it or where it comes from. He's just looking for the biggest and easiest platform, and that's Akademiks. If he had a choice, Ye would probably go to these bigger platforms that have mainstream backing, but for now, they will not have him anymore. Akademiks is the only big platform that will give him a mic and not really challenge him. Even Aiden Ross or Kai Cenat would probably do a better job of challenging him and his points. Now Ak is being used to promote Ye's next album, World War III. Doing it on his own wasn't really creating the buzz that Ye wanted, but now he's got Akademiks posting his music videos, posting snippets, and even posting the track list for his next project for him. The track list has, the Mustache Man's name all the way throughout it. It also has Free Diddy on there and Virgil Let Me Down, among a bunch of other things. But Ye has finally found his outlet, his platform that he can go on and get the attention that he really, really wants, while also pretty much having no restrictions. Like, a Kanye interview in general is going to do numbers because, again, it's Kanye West. He's one of the biggest names in the world, regardless of what he's really doing at the moment. Anytime there's a mic in front of him, people are going to pay attention. But there's a big difference between Ye doing an interview with Justin LeBoy and doing an interview with Akademiks. For Akademiks, this is a dream come true to have somebody like Ye on his content. It's also going to do insane numbers on the internet and be one of the hottest topics whenever something comes out from those two. But I think if Akademiks was removed from this situation and he was on the outside looking in, he would be questioning the person platforming this on this huge platform for not pushing back enough, or for platforming this very clearly mentally ill man rambling off on these crazy tangents and not thinking about how that might affect him in the future when and if he ever gets healthy, and how it might affect that person and their family, because Kanye has 4 children and these children are on the internet. So I just think that if this wasn't Ak doing it, I think he would be raising a lot of questions about this. But if you made it this far, I greatly, greatly appreciate you. Make sure you let me know down below in the comments what you think about all this, what you think about the things that I said, and if you think that Kanye's using Akademiks, or maybe Akademiks shouldn't be platforming him, or if he is going to platform him, he should definitely push back just for the sake of his possible future and the future of maybe Kanye's children. But if you made it this far, I greatly, greatly appreciate you. I go by the name of Pay. Make sure you have a good day. Be safe. Be blessed. Peace.